UK factory, and we're just now assembling the new rods over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So those are the C2 ones, the C2D. We also have updates to the range, so we still continue on with the popular rods like the NGs. They now have a carbon reel seat, nice new graphics on here, abbreviated shrink handles, small flares, black aluminium butt caps.
This was one of the first NGs I've ever used,
yes.
and I'm still have got them.
Well, I mean, it's still a popular
they're
rod.
rods for life. You never.
We launched this rod initially 15 years ago, so we're still going strong with it. It's still a popular on our range.
Okay.
Because we're over here in the Netherlands, one of the popular rods is also the Armalites.
Yeah, and also Kirk. People like it in Holland.
Yeah, this is
it's a playing rod, eh?
A full super grade cork handle. Finished off with a nice Alps reel seat. We've tried to sort of do an update to the Armalite by putting in a few new green whippings that match the Kevlar blank surface, and the underlying blank though is still very similar to what we were doing 20 years ago. We still manufacture it just the same today. The only difference is that the fittings are updated. We now autoclave the butt sections, the tip sections, so that they've got a better action retention. They don't go soft after just sort of a couple of years. They really last sort of for a lifetime. And you know, we still have customers that come to us with Armalites from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
That love them.
I've been with you guys in the fabric, and I've seen the thing where they do the autoclave system.
Yes.
They pressure all the air out of the Kevlar.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's why it's so strong and powerful.
That's correct. So what an autoclave does is for us it's compulsory to work in Formula One.
Yeah.
You have to have an autoclave. Most fishing rods here at the show, they'll just be made in an oven, cured. What an autoclave does is it's a high pressure temperature oven. It squeezes all of the air out of the wall of the blank. And what it does, it stops little fractures developing underneath the blank that you can't see, but it stops that happening. And what it does, it keeps the butt sections more powerful for longer, and it also reduces the chances of you breaking the rods.
That's what I've seen many times. When you throw a rod, it gets weaker. But with Century, you don't have that problem.
No, that's it. That's what it's all about. We're trying to make sure that if you buy a rod today, in another 6 years, it will be a little bit softer, but it will still be a lot better than maybe a competitor's rod.
I kept telling everybody that I was writing a book for many years, but I was lying. I was going fishing all the time and doing no writing. And but I kept saying I was doing it, you know. But eventually, I started about October time, and I wrote the book in 3 months, approximately. Did about 35 chapters, and well, I did more. And then I took it to Sim Paisley. He read it and he went, "Oh my God, you've done 2 books." You know, I wrote 2 books. I didn't realise. So we had to just make it a bit smaller. He says otherwise the book would have weighed about 5 kilos. And so I didn't do all technical stuff. Everyone expected just technical, and I think that's a shame. So I did more about my life, you know, from the early days when I was a kid, how I started, right the way to now. You know, there's loads of technical stuff on how to use the method and baits, and there's a lot of humour in it, you know, lots of funny stories. So that are real true stories as well, you know. I've wrote chapters about Lac de Dère in France, Lake Reduta. There's 2 or 3 chapters in there. There's quite a few stories, and lots of different places. So it's all about not just England, it's around Europe, you know, European fishing. Belgium as well, Surf Lake and Sibelco. So there's a big mixture of stuff for everybody, you know.
One more question. Why you call your book Every Bit of Blue?
Oh, well, when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet like we've got now. So if I wanted to find the water, I got an ordnance survey map, and I used to visit every single piece of blue on the map. And that's how I used to find all the waters. A lot of them didn't even have carp in, but if I found somewhere, I'd visit and try and catch a carp, you know. Didn't even know if they're in there, and I caught them sometimes. It was nice. So it always stuck in my head that, you know.
Nice name.
Yeah. Tim says to me, "Oh, it has to be called Carp, the book, something Carp." And I says, "No, it doesn't. It's my book, so it has to be my name for it, you know." But I like that name.
Carp Swaller, what does that mean for you?
If I compare the amount of visitors from last year with this year, you see a really big increasing of amount of visitors. especially the German guys more arranged here now, and many questions about how to catch, of course, and
how to bait a
everybody,
bait, and to make a
to
bait.
choose, yes, how to choose your bait. More technical information to catch.
That's very important.
Yes.
I also heard that you do some tutorials, workshops. How does that work?
Yes, the workshops we are organizing now are the intention is to organize the guys for it and to tell and talk about the behavior of carps, fish generally in fish, and after that to connect that how to catch the carps.
Okay.
Not to catch the anglers, but how to catch the carp.
So that's very interesting.
Absolutely, and it's yes, many guys inform me after the workshop. Oh, you really f***ed my mind.
Okay, but that's something what we know about Huub. He can mess up somebody's mind.
Yes.
Carp Swallow really is the place to meet all the big names in the carp fishing scene. Next to me is Danny Verbers from Corda. So Danny, we know each other for more than 2 decades. Danny, what's Carp Swallow? What does that mean for you? And
What does it mean for me? Well, I've been coming a long time now. I don't think I was at the first one, but I think I was at the second one with my little tiny table with a few legs on top.
I remember those days.
Yeah. And it's just grown and grown and grown as a show. The presentation is better than anywhere that I've been around Europe. Even the English shows, they're not as good as this one. And you know, they attract people from all around Europe, which I think is to their credit. You know.
And the good thing is also the young guys who are here. There are a lot of young guys.
Yeah, there are a lot of young guys, probably more than you see in the UK actually, which is good. I think the difference between the UK and Europe is carp fishing is more acceptable here. Like you see girlfriends going fishing with their boyfriends. In England that doesn't really happen, you know, so I like that sort of attitude. It's a more open-minded sort of view of it, you know, and as a result more kids get into it, so which is good.
That's very nice. Any new products in the range this year?
Yeah, we've got quite a few new things. The HeliSafe, which is the drop-off system for a helicopter rig, that's going to be the real big thing. Not our idea. A couple of guys came to us with the idea and said they'd like us to produce it, so we redeveloped it with them, made it a little bit smaller, and it's out in England next week. So here it will follow in a couple of weeks after. Okay. Things like ready-tied zig rigs, things like that. You know, it's a difficult thing to get right. You know, you can have them in your box all the time. If you have to zig fish at the last minute, it's there. So some new things and also some things to make it easier to fish.
Okay,
you know?
that's very nice.
Yeah. I'm here with Marcel from PB at the PB stand, and he's going to show us some new products.
We have the hit and run inline leds, and we improved them a bit. So we got a new coating. It's a system that is really carp safe. You can see that the lead is in the front. We have much more weight, so it's better in balance during casting. And also when the
carp picks it up, it has more weight. The hook goes better.
Absolutely, absolutely. The advantage of the hit and run system, it is a simple system, but it's very effective for carp. When your main line breaks, he will lose everything. Leader, lead, all things. As you can see, the carp picked up the bait. He hooks himself, and when he shakes, the lead comes off. So you have the drop system.
Yeah.
But now when the main line breaks, the carp will swim, the lead will stay, and even if there is 10 meter or 20 meters, it doesn't matter.
He always gets free. That's the most important thing.
Always gets free.
Yeah.
So the one thing he keeps in his mouth is only
just the rig, which is very important.
Yeah. And the fish will take for about 10 centimeters. At my main line, because it's 2 times 10 centimeters, is 20 centimeters. So I have a perfect registration of the bait.
Oh, it was an amazing show. Many people, incredible. What do you think about the future with this show, Mick? The future of carp fishing? How do you think it will develop?
Well, I think the way it has developed over the years and is still going that direction is it's a young man's sport these days, because the younger people, they have the money, the motivation, they love the glitter, the glamour, the fighting fish, the bending rods.
Yeah.
And us old guys, we're still doing our thing, we like to fish, but things change. Young guys look at things differently.
And it's getting more global, I think. Eh?
Oh, definitely.
There's no country where they don't fish. It's unbelievable.
No, it's unbelievable. It is what you're saying. I mean, when I hear now about Hungary, and Poland,
Whole families
and
are
Russia,
fishing.
and
Women are fishing,
it's
children,
incredible.
older people, unbelievable. Yeah.
But I think for me, that's what it's always been about. Why do you have to be secretive and not share your hobby? We're sharing our hobby.
Yeah.
We're sharing it with 16,000 people this weekend. To me, that's the important thing. And the future is that we all share. We look to the future, to the youth.
So if you want to come to a good carp show in Europe, come to the carp show in Zwolle and meet us next year.
Még február közepe sincs, ilyenkor a legtöbb víz be van fagyva Európában, úgyhogy a horgászok nem nagyon tudnak hódolni hobbiuknak, viszont egy biztos, hogy az összes nagy gyártó kijött már az idei újdonságaival. Ezeket láthatták itt a Carp Zwollén, remélem önök is jól érezték magukat, mi mindenképpen itt Észak-Hollandiában. Legközelebb Prágába látogatunk, addig is tartsanak velünk!